All right, Grandstand Bettors. It's day number 9, I think, of the World. No, day number 8 of the World Cup. I don't know what day it is, but there has been some shocking results, including one we'll get to here in just a moment. But first, welcome in our co-host, our analyst of everything soccer related, Mr. Ian Allen of the Ian OUFC YouTube channel, right?
That is right. That sneaky little name change in there has just thrown you.
It did.
OUFC, of course, stands for my beloved Oxford United Football Club. But thank you very much, Matt. Great to be back once again. What is that? 3rd day in a row now for us streaming. It's
yeah,
kind of one every single day. Don't get used to it. But it's been a World Cup that seems to be flying along at a rapid pace. We're nearly getting to the end of all the games in like the second round of the group phase, the second match days, if you like, in the group phases. And every game just seems to be completely unpredictable. Argentina came through against Mexico, but that one was in doubt for a long, long time until Messi does what Messi does. And today, people were just thinking Japan would rock up against Costa Rica, get that win they needed, see them into the second round. Not so. Very lackluster Japan performance. Costa Rica get a win, which reignites their World Cup after getting smashed 7-0 by Spain. And then, again, Belgium versus Morocco. Not a lot of love lost between those two sides. But Morocco coming through with a huge win against a very lackluster and very tired-looking Belgian side. And now you have to question whether Belgium are going to make it through the groups at all.
Well, honestly, I was surprised. I think I texted you last night, like, why is Belgium even money to win that game? Obviously, they shouldn't even been close to even money. But I think it came out because there was I believe, a comment by one of the Belgian players saying, we're too old. We're not going to win the World Cup, when he was asked if you have a shot. Who was that?
Eden Hazard. He basically said that, we're not as good as we were 4 years ago, but we're still a decent side. But their main two players are De Bruyne and the guy who came on, Lukaku. But Lukaku's been injured, so he's been very they haven't been able to use him at all. And they look and the rest of the side just looks very outdated, if you like.
Yeah.
It just looks a tired side. And Morocco played with a lot of energy, a lot of spirit. It was almost like a home game for them, the amount of fans they had in the crowd. And they got the job done, and I think they deserved it.
Yeah, and in all honesty, I really think it's interesting. There's 6 games left here in the rest of round 2, the 2 today and the 4 tomorrow. At this present moment, the only team to actually be eliminated is Qatar.
That's right. And I think there's not many sides that are actually through as well either. I think France may be one of the only ones.
France is through, and I think that is the only one that is solidified. I mean, there's ones that, like, England should be through. But if Spain beats Germany today, Germany is going to have 0 points in that group, and everybody else is going to have at least 3 with 1 match to go.
Yeah, but luckily for Germany, a defeat doesn't put them out.
Correct.
Still gives them a shot.
It's crazy.
Is at least something. But I think they'll be. Never count out the Germans. Let's not assume that they're going to lose to Spain, even though you would think so on what we saw in the first round of games. But looking at this game, Matt, I see Mounties in the crowd. I can't think of a Croatian stereotype that I can see in the crowd. But what are your thoughts about this one? And from a betting point of view, what have you got going on? What's hot?
Yeah, so I was impressed with Canada in that first match. We can get to your thoughts here in a moment, but I was impressed. They looked very good. They almost surprised Germany there in the last few seconds and came up with a draw. Now, even with that performance and how good they played, they can be knocked out with a loss today against Croatia. So their backs are to the wall. I'm interested to see how they come out. I love this Davies guy. I don't watch a lot of him. In fact, I couldn't even tell you who does he play for? Do you know?
Plays for Bayern Munich.
For Nick, okay. So, but I was impressed with his performance. In fact, I was impressed by the goalie, and I know he gave up 3, but I was impressed by the goalie of Canada as well. But with that said, with how good that team looked, Croatia is the runner-up to the World Cup 4 years ago, and I know they struggled in qualifying, getting to this point, but they did go out. They got I think it was a 0-0 tie against Morocco in the first game, and as we just saw, Morocco can stun people, and they're a good team as well. So I think Croatia is going to put up at least 2 goals in this one. I can see Canada nicking one, and I'm going to take the over 2.5 in this. I hope it doesn't play out like yesterday, where we had to wait literally 60 minutes in for 1 goal, and then we got all of them. I hope we can get at least 1 in the first half, but I do like Croatia with a 2-1 victory here.
Yeah, I think it might be slightly more comprehensive to Croatia in this one. And this isn't, again, me bagging on Canada, although I have done a bit of slagging off of Canada in been a bit derogatory towards them in some of my videos. That was mainly just due to a bit of ignorance of not knowing how good they could be. But I have a feeling the experience of Croatia might just pick Canada off here. And I think the one thing it'll be interesting to see if Canada can play in a different way, because they went out and they really took the game to Belgium. They lost the game narrowly 1-0, missed a penalty, which is a huge opportunity. That's a golden chance missed by Davis in that one. But the way they played, they were almost very gung-ho, tried to get the ball, tried to go forward at all opportunities with a lot of quick, direct attacks. But there was a number of times that they were getting picked off. And I think Croatia will just kind of hope Canada play in the same vein, sit a little bit deeper, pick them off, get the ball into someone like Modric, who can then get the ball into someone like Kramaric or Perisic. And if they're a bit more ruthless in front of goal than Belgium were, you could see a bit more of a one-sided game than maybe what Canada's performance might justify, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I do like Croatia in this spot. They would not be knocked out with a loss. I think it's just Canada who gets knocked out because they do have a point.
Just trying to see what the points totals are in that one. I mean, Belgium have got 3.
Belgium's got 3. Morocco's got 4. And Croatia has 1. Canada 0.
Right.
Yeah. In fact, Canada, actually, I should update. I have this. The graphic that was being used on the bottom there was actually done before the last match. So let me just update that real quick because these are the true group standings at the present moment, even though Spain and Germany, or not Spain and Germany. This will be the second game of this group today, right? Yeah. For Group F.
What was I going to say? I think I've.
While you think about that, just real quick, people coming into the chat, welcome in, guys. Ian and myself will do some play-by-play, live reaction, do some betting during the game. The national anthems are being played, but first in the chat, put your score predictions. I'd like to know what you guys think the score of this game is. Does anybody out there think the Canadians have a shot to win this one and keep themselves alive in Group F?
I think we might be a bit more on time on this one, because I'm playing it through like an app on the TV rather than live on the TV. So I'm trying to cut down the time difference that we have.
Look at you.
So we might be a little bit. Well, when the games are played on BBC, I'm able to do it. When they're on the other channel, I struggle. But we'll see. What stage are you at? Have the national anthem actually started on yours yet? Or
well, I can't hear it, but Croatia has their hands over their hearts.
Okay. You might even be a second or so. Yeah, you might even be a second or so ahead of me now, but that's fine. That is fine. We're pretty much
the guy
level.
in the face mask?
I actually don't know, but there's a few players that have got that. He's probably got like a fractured cheekbone or something like that, and they put those. He's not a superhero, don't worry.
Right. And hey, following this, there's actually real American football being played. NFL week number 12. By the way, I know you don't care, but Michigan destroyed Ohio State yesterday.
I have a fleeting interest in it. I'm always kind of. I used to have BT Sport, and they used to have the games, and I used to watch it like every Saturday. But I don't have it now, so I'm kind of more a bit check the scores. Don't really follow it as closely as I used to. But Who are the Browns playing today, Matt?
The Tom Brady, the newly divorced single man. I had to hide my wife in Cleveland because he's in town.
There we go.
Although she just said gross, so never mind.
And just to run over a couple of things, there is only one change for either side from their first round game. Croatia had an injury to Nikola Vlasic of West Ham. He might be out of the whole tournament, so they brought in Marco Livaja up front, plays for Hijack Split, and Canada have brought in a change up front as well. Junior Hoylett, who is kind of a bit past it, if I must admit, for
Really.
He's been around a long time, and he's not in, and they've gone with Bruges striker Kyle Lorin up front. So a couple of changes for either side, but not too different. Still with those two main men in the Canadian side of Alphonso Davies and David up front, who have got incredible amount of pace, and they'll look to try and get in and stretch Croatia backline at all times.
I do think the most well-known man for Croatia is Modric, right?
Absolutely.
Modric. Yeah. I know in America that's the one that all of us Americans know, and I believe he plays for Real Madrid.
Yep, you're correct. I mean, he's come into the sort of last few years of his career. A lot of people might have even thought the last World Cup was his last World Cup, but at 37, which sounds old in football terms, still sounds quite young to people like me and you, Matt. But he's playing as well as arguably he ever has done. Had an amazing season last year, and was a massive part of Real Madrid's journey to winning the Champions League.
Yeah.
And so he's carrying that form on, and he's always a guy Croatia look to try and pull the strings, create chances, score goals. And while he is on a pitch for Croatia, they've always got a chance of winning any game.
Yeah, I know he's offensive first minded, even though he does play midfield. Why is it? Explain. Well, we got a second before kickoff here. Why is it that some of the best players in the world play midfield rather than a straightforward position?
It gives him a bit more freedom. I mean, he's not an out-and-out striker, so I think if you played him in a striking role, you're not trying to get the best out of him. You want to play him in a position in that midfield, almost between the central midfield and the strikers, where he can pick up space, pull players out of position, and then kind of do his thing. Really, he's more of a playmaker than anything else. So that's his strongest role. Almost in a way, if you give a very crude American football term, he's almost a little bit like a quarterback in terms of that they'll look to get him the ball and he'll make the plays.
Well, the lineups are on the screen. We're about to kick off here. Surprisingly, Croatia, almost everybody ends in the letter C.
They do like it, don't they? There's a couple that don't. Lovren at the back.
Yeah, there are a couple.
But yeah, most of them do.
Anybody on the Canada starting lineup other than Davies? Who's David? What is David's first name?
What is David's first name?
Jonathan David. He plays for Lille.
Lille.
Yeah.
I mean, you got the two Bruges strikers up front in Larin, who's come into the side, and Buchanan. Interesting to know how those two go. They've obviously must have quite a good understanding playing from the same club. So a bit interesting to see how those two go together. And not really too many more star names in there. I mean, in the game against Belgium, the central midfield two of Estaquiro and Hutchinson almost were a little bit guilty of overcommitting at times and playing a bit too high up the pitch, and that allowed De Bruyne to pick up pockets of space.
Okay.
I hope they don't do that again today. They've got to be a little bit more disciplined, because if they do that again today, you're running the risk of Modric running the show, as we've just talked about.
They just kicked off on my screen, by the way.
Okay. Well, so I am I'll tell you when they kick off on mine. They've just kicked off now.
Well, that's fine because I can pause it actually on mine.
Yeah. Okay.
So let's see.
Yeah, so I've got two Croatia in their traditional checkerboard, beautifully unique checkerboard kit, and Canada in there. Looks like a dark black or like a black or a dark blue kit.
Oh,
In this
mate.
one.
Oh, mate.
What's up?
I haven't seen it yet, but I have something online that shows me, like, it's the online score, and Jackie just saw it, the wife.
Oh wow! Look, hold on, folks, because we're in for something special here. We think
Something's coming. Something's coming.
we've been starved of first half goals. I don't think there's going to be any goals in the first half in this game. I would
There's
put
gonna be.
all your grandstand money, Patreon money on the 0-0 draw. Here come Canada down the right-hand side, cross into the box. A wonderful goal,
dude! Right off the bat,
and it is that man, Alphonso Davies, who has literally just stunned the whole of Croatia.
Dude, that's a awful start for Croatia.
Yeah, very. This is what he does for the likes of Bayern Munich. He is a willing runner from deep, getting in the box, finishing off chances, and that is exactly what he's done from his position wide on the left-hand side. He's just ran into the box unopposed, unmarked, brilliant header. He was guilty of missing chances against the Belgians. He has not missed one today, and that is a dream start. A dream start.
Absolute dream start. It doesn't even look like Croatia was ready to defend off the whistle. I mean, they methodically took the ball down into Canada's third, played around with it for a couple seconds, and then the counter was kind of on there. And that's a beautiful cross, by the way.
Great, yeah. Execution is first class, and it's wonderful movement, wonderful ball in. He met wonderfully timed run and a beautiful header. Croatia will be looking at it saying, "Why aren't we picking him up?" But this is what he does. This is why he is one of the superstars in world football. It's because he makes those sort of runs. He's running at Croatia again now, but Croatia get that one away for a throw in. But Matt, what is happening? What is this World Cup?
I don't know. It seems like every game, and to be honest with you, this is why I'm not picking sides. We've picked one or two sides. I think we took the Netherlands in a game that they didn't win, and we took Belgium earlier today, and that didn't win. I've been taking the overs, but in spots that I think it's going to hit. We took the over here in 2.5, and that's a beautiful start for us, in all honesty.
I took the over of 2.5 as well, and I was so quite happy with that one.
Yeah, for sure.
Again, I say there hasn't been many first half goals, so it's quite nice to actually see one. A lot of games going into the halftime at 0-0.
I think it was about 14 or 15 matches thus far coming into this one had gone 0-0. A couple of chats real quick. Kirk says Croatia money line. That didn't age well. He said that before the game started.
Get it on there now. We might get a better price.
Plenty of time left. Sports betting chick said, "Good morning. I like 3-1 Croatia for this game," and then immediately said, "Can I take back my score prediction?" No. Well, to be fair, you said 3-1, and Canada got their one. So we'll see. Now, Ian, what do you think Croatia does? Does this change anything from a tactical standpoint?
I don't think it really can. I don't think you can really go. I don't think you can rip up your tactics sheet after conceding a goal in the first 2 or 3 minutes of the game. I mean, that's just it. It happens. You just kind of got to make sure you kind of grow into the game a little bit. Don't concede a second goal. And again, these are experienced players. Zlatko Dalic has been around in world football for this Croatia side a while as well. So they've seen it all before. They've seen these kind of they've seen sides who they should beat take the lead against them, and they won't be panicking or anything yet. They'll just know they can just relax a little bit. They need to relax, get some time on the ball, play some football, and hopefully wear Canada down a little bit. But
what is Croatia's tendency to play? Is it a possession game? Is it a counter attack? I mean, how How do they normally play?
They are. It's changed a little bit in the last kind of year or so, where they are trying to play with a bit more of a quicker tempo. But traditionally, Croatia have always played very possession based,
Okay.
like kind of.
A true European team.
Yeah, they were actually kind of like a lot of people have almost copied them in many ways. Of like they were one of the they almost started a lot of this possession based trend um, way back in like 1996, where I remember England playing against them in a friendly, and it was like you lose the ball and you almost like wouldn't get it back for like 10 minutes. They were like that good at keeping it, and
Yeah.
they've really kind of been like that for a long, long time. But they're trying to be a bit more. Bringing through some younger players and trying to play a bit more kind of direct with a bit more tempo. As we see Croatia trying to get their first shot away, bit of a juggle from the keeper there, but he's gathered it in, and no harm done from a Canadian point of view.
Yeah.
But
That's
yeah, usually what happened when in Russia 2018 when England lost to them in the semi-finals, it was very much like England took the lead, couldn't get that second goal, and then just really wilted in the second half. And Croatia just kept the ball, kept England chasing it, and eventually England just wilted. Couldn't do anything about it.
yeah.
The goals came.
A lot of people entering the room. Guys, we're live. If you missed the first 7 minutes, you missed some excitement. Canada 1-0. I don't know why I gave Croatia the goal there. I got to change that. But 1-0 over Croatia here in the early minutes of this one. Smash that like button if you are excited for a goal finally in the first half of this World Cup. It's been like almost 14 straight games, something like that, without a first half goal.
There was one in the first half of Poland, Saudi Arabia, and then I think we've had none in the first half of 4 games in a row after that, I think.
Oh yeah, it was bad. Yeah. In fact, they tried to give a goal earlier today, but it was taken away in the Belgium Morocco game. You see that?
I did. I think it was the right decision. I know you probably don't, but I do think it was the right decision.
Well, the only reason I didn't like it was because I was hoping that would fire up the Belgians in the second half if they were down 1-0, because with that goal allowing it to just be 0-0, it looked like they came out of halftime not really caring, and they just looked bad.
Lovely, absolutely beautiful flick there from a Canadian player. Takes it around the corner and he's running it down the right-hand side. Plays it inside. Croatia come back, nick the ball and can clear. But that's just another example of how Canada, what they showed, carrying on from what they showed against Belgium, with players who are being very brave in possession, not afraid to take people on, not afraid to take risks. And they've won the ball back in midfield again. So I think it's gone through to David. Is that going to be offside?
It is offside, yes.
It is
going to be off. Yeah.
But yeah, it's you can't help but be impressed. They certainly are. They've certainly come to this World Cup and come to play. They're not just gonna like. They've not come with any thought in their mind to just sit and play and try and nick a point here and there, nick a win here and there. They have taken the game. They took the game to Belgium, and they're so far, I know we're only 10 minutes in, they're taking the game to Croatia.
Well, I mean, a win here against the Croatians, really, like every group in the World Cup, would just be jumbled as Croatia's trying to get into the box here. But I mean, that would put Morocco at 4 points, Canada at 3, Belgium at 3, and then Croatia would still only have one win, but still everybody alive in the group to, I guess, technically be able to still win the group.
Yeah, very long time to go, as we'll keep stressing, but very precarious position for Croatia if they do lose this one. I mean, I know like Belgium haven't been great at all, but to have to go and beat Belgium to qualify isn't going to be easy.
It is going to be the hardest game, but I mean, just after watching the Belgians today, they just don't look good.
They don't look good.
And it's a little surprising then how, I don't want to say use the word easily, because it was definitely a test against Canada, and it could have ended in a draw for sure. But their offense looked a lot better against Canada than it did against Morocco.
Yeah, and I think if I think if you're a Belgian supporter, the one thing that's going to really frustrate you is the fact that you got out of jail big time against Canada. You got away with it, huge let off, but you've come out of a 1-0 win. And you could use all the cliches of good sides find a way to win when they play badly. And you would expect them to come out and put in a much better performance in that second game. And they just didn't. And arguably, they were worse.
We got a corner kick here for the Croatians. Tell me when they kick the corner kick so I can make sure I'm not ahead of you.
Okay. Just clicked over to 11 minutes on my time. So.
Okay, I'm about 8. Tell me when you get to 11:10.
Okay, I will do. I'm 11:10 now.
All right, perfect. We're right on there then. All right, okay. So corner kick here, a little short corner.
Yep, short corner. Plays back to Modric. Willie tries to take on the defender, gets a little bit of room, but not a great cross. But Modric recycles possession, ball into the box. Canada deal with it again, and can Canadians get a fast break? No, they can't. Croatia steal the ball back. Can they get a shot on goal? Hacked clear. The epitome of a hack. And but has that gone behind for a corner? I think it may have done.
Yeah, it's going to be a corner there.
I think it might be a throw-in. No, it's gone.
What's your time? I already screwed this up. What's your time? 11 what?
11. I am on 12 minutes now.
Okay, cool. We're perfect.
So yeah, Croatia with a bit of pressure, long throw-in into the box. Headed Canada not doing a particularly great job of getting that around. They get it away, fourth time of asking, they get it away, and they play the ball up into no man's land, and Croatia will recycle it and come back. The interesting thing will be, though, with Canada, we've talked about how brave they have been and how much they've liked to play on the front foot. Now they are winning a game against a very, very experienced and seasoned Croatia side.
Yeah.
And I won't expect this to happen to maybe like 20 minutes to go. But will we see Canada kind of go into their shell and go and start trying to defend the lead? Because that's something we've not seen them do. And whether they'll be able to do that against a side.
See, but that's something I think we've talked about in the previous week. Do you sit back? Do you stay aggressive? I've always been that person. Don't change your tactics. If you're an aggressive team, if you're an open team, you play, to score and then, get back on defense. Why change it? Because I just think you're setting yourself up to deal with situations that you typically aren't in.
Yeah. I mean, I've played in games where we're winning the game, and you're just kind of getting a bit. I don't know. You don't know why. You just mentally, when you're winning, you start to become very conscious of the time and how long's left, and every single attack that you weather, you get a little bit more, even more relieved and a little bit more desperate, and you do just start to naturally sit a little bit deeper. You don't want to make a mistake, and I think it's just rather than remembering what the game plan is, you players just instinctively kind of try and protect what they've got rather than going out and attacking and trying to get a second. I don't know why. It might just be it's kind of a mentality of the player, of a human, maybe more than anything else. But it's Canada coming again down the left-hand side, running straight at a Croatian wall, but they've done well and they've recycled it out now to Estaquino, and he can get a ball into the box again. Canadian striker arrives into the penalty area unmarked, and it's Davis again, but this time Croatia can clear and get it away, and Davis is fouled.
A little bit of a foul there. No card though.
No.
So guys, in the chat, guys, let me know, or let us know, hey, what team do you think's winning the World Cup right now? We're about, I would say, halfway, or a little over halfway through the group stage. There's been a lot of surprises. Tell us, who do you think's winning the cup? I'm going to tell you right now, I hate to go chalk. And I know Spain has only played Costa Rica. We'll see them later. If Spain dominates Germany, it's hard to argue against them, right? I mean,
yeah, obviously, yeah, they've been very impressive. If they get a win against Germany, then they've been the standout side. But there's so group stages and knockout stages are completely different things, really.
true. And I was impressed. I like that Argentina in the first half. Mexico looked like, hey, they might nick a point here and really force Argentina to have to win in the third match. But Messi, that was a great shot. And if you see it from behind the goal, the angle on that is ridiculous. And who it had to go through the legs of and to miss. The second goal was a beaut as well.
Absolutely, yeah. Two wonderful goals. Argentina kind of, Messi. That's Messi, isn't it? Like, that he's one of the greatest players that's ever played the game. And when your back's to the wall, you need him to do something special. Usually, he comes up and delivers.
Yeah, he's got a little bit of an ego on him for good reason. He was the only player that I noticed have the word GOAT on his practice jersey coming off the field.
He's earned it. But Croatia with a crossing opportunity. Guns' goalkeeper flaps at the ball and hasn't cleared it. And Croatia, can they get a shooting opportunity? No. I think that is Perisic who's bundled into a defender, and it's given as a free kick to Canada. Just a decent opportunity that for Canada, but for Croatia, they just couldn't work the ball into a shooting chance.
That's the same situation there, though, that we talked about a little yesterday. Why not catch that ball? Why is he punching that out?
Not too sure. I couldn't give you an answer on that, and he's put his side under pressure. He's put his side under more pressure by not catching it. Sometimes keepers are a bit afraid to catch it if they then drop it, and they think punching can be the safer option. And they must be taught that, because you see a lot of goalies doing it more and more than what you used to, and so that's the only thing I can think. But I would always rather see a goalie come and catch the ball. But here we go again with another Canadian attack down the right-hand side, cuts inside, gets into the area. Can they fashion a shooting chance? It's another very nice move. Just that final little flick back. I think it was from David. Whether he could have just flicked that back a little better, maybe someone could have ran onto it. But Canada continue to look pretty good when they go forward.
Good pressure, yeah, from the Canadian side. Although Croatia is 60% right now on the possession.
Yeah, you would expect that, though. I mean, Canada are going to be a bit more. We saw that against Belgium. When they get the ball, they don't want to mess about with it. They're just going to get it forward quickly. Like, for example, with Davis, who will just run forward directly, gets the ball into midfield. They get it out wide now of another crossing opportunity, but that's overhit again. But Croatia are forced to hit it behind for a corner kick. Canada playing with their 3-4-3, able to get those wing backs in Davis and Larea quite high up the pitch here, always giving them an outlet out wide. And we saw that where Davis has won the play a couple of times. They switch it over to that right-hand side where Larea is able to get a lot of space and get balls into the box. But Canada play a short one to the edge of the box.
I can't stand that, Ian.
Bobbling around in there, but Croatia can clear it. What can't you stand?
The short corners, it's another thing that irritates me. Kick the ball into the box and give your guy a chance to head it into the goal.
I know. I will just say, for a counter argument to that is, I know sides do like to, and again, use a very crude American football analogy, maybe do a bit of a special, do a bit of a trick play, if you like. As Croatia have won the ball back high and they attack down their left-hand side, looks a bit of an overhit cross, but it's actually a good one. And Modric, unusually for him,
oh my God,
can't get the ball under control. But a bad miss kick from Croatia, and that's let Davis in. That's a guy you don't want to let in, charging down that left-hand side now. Can he pick out a cross? His cross is poor, and Croatia can clear. Two dangerous moments there
We got a little end-to-end play here, and
Yeah, a
in
little
all
bit of
honesty, I
end-to-end
think
play, and
Canada had the better chance.
the just that final pass wasn't, or final Croatia's point of view, the touch from Modric wasn't good enough. From Canada's point of view, Davis with a bit of a poor pass into the box. You'd expect better from the two key men from either side. So I think sometimes teams do like to mix it up a little bit from corners. Like they might, rather than banging everyone into the box, do something different once in a while.
I get it, and it changes maybe the point of attack. I get that.
But yeah, you should sometimes, yeah, and when people do try something different from a set piece, when it does go wrong, it does look a bit bad, and it just leaves everyone just going, "Why didn't you just smack it into the box?"
It's interesting. It seems like, Croatia's having some possession here, but Canada, when they see the opportunity to come ahead and attack, they are well, you're going to see it in a second. I think we're I'm a little ahead of you still.
Well, I know, I saw it.
It didn't work out well for them.
I saw it. Well, Croatia going through the middle now. Did you just see that chance for?
Yeah, I thought he was going to get a touch on that, and just out of his reach. It was, yeah. Now, would you ever call that? I don't think I would ever call that as a foul, but like in hockey, that would be considered like interference when you're not allowing the guy to go towards the ball.
There's a fine line between what you're allowed to do and what you're not allowed to do. I think in that instance, he's kind of made enough of an attempt to go for the ball to try and stop the striker. But that was a Croatian guy, Kovacic, from Chelsea, making that run forward, who's often quite a very underused player, I would say, for this season for Chelsea. But is a very dangerous player himself, trying to get the ball into Kramaric up front. Kramaric, sorry, up front for Croatia, but just out of his reach. But I think it's Davis again. Again, he's pulling the strings. Everything that's good for Canada is coming through Davis. They do get the ball, trying to get the ball into the box again. It is a throw-in on the right-hand side. He is quite rightly the star man in this Canada side. And so far in this opening 23 minutes, he seems to be everywhere on the pitch.
He does. You look up and he's touching the ball, but hey, that's what you want your good players to do, right? I mean,
yeah. I mean, again, this is that. So long as Canada are playing, so they know he's going to do that. Because at the moment, he's playing way out of position, and so long as they've got people covering him when he does that, then that's fine. But chance for Canada to Canada got the ball again on the edge of the box. Again, it's come through to Davis, but he loses the ball, but he recycles it out wide. I think that's come out wide to Larea now on this right-hand side, and see if he can get another ball into the box. I think he goes back to Johnston. Is that a cross? Good opportunity to the crossing is, apart from that one quality cross we've seen, the rest of them have not been great so far from Canada. They've had plenty of opportunities to get good balls in. Haven't seen a huge amount of quality. Croatia,
they tend to be a bit behind the guy too. They've been a little late, I think.
This is Juranovic for no, I tell a lie. This is I'm getting my players all mixed up here. They're switching sides. They're not allowed to do that.
Just end it in Vic and you're good.
No, this is a Croatian player. I think this is thought I've got going to see Larea on the other side of the pitch. I think him and Davis may have swapped wings just for a moment, although probably not, because Davis is playing wherever he wants to play. That looked like a foul throw. I think it is a foul throw. Yeah, it is. Yeah. You don't see them in international football very often, but that's a foul throw. And that gives Croatia the ball back in their own half now. So bit amateurish, that bit schoolboy. But what can you do?
They never, we were talking about things that they rarely call, like the 6-second goalie thing. I rarely see that ever called.
Yes, rarely see that called. And has to be pretty blatant, and that was pretty blatant. He almost just dropped the ball.
No? Oh, I'm ahead of you.
Have you gone ahead of me again? Have you?
I don't know.
I can go back onto normal TV if it makes it easier. But
No, it's all good. We're at when we start halftime. We'll just make sure. I meant to tell you to shut up before that we kicked off, and then I forgot to.
what minute are you on now?
I'm ahead of you now because my TV froze because it's through the internet, and then I just restarted the TV real quick, and that's what got me ahead of both of you.
That's so weird that mine froze as well. Like, did mine just froze too when Canada, because Croatia have just scored and it's been ruled out for offside.
I did not see the offsides, but I really thought he was on. I thought it was a good goal, but apparently not.
It's tight. I think he is just off. When they played the ball into again. I think it's either Perisic or Kramovic who's got that. No, Kramovic is the one who scored the goal. So it's probably Perisic who's the one who's just gone a bit early in the middle and received the ball. It looked like he was just offside, which is unlucky because it was a good move and a good finish, and would have tied this one up.
Now I'm loving this game so far. This has that end-to-end action. You know, I mean, it's been
a good one. Canada. Bit of a joy to watch, really, aren't they? At times,
they really
make the game quite enjoy. They're not gonna sit back and just keep the ball. They're just gonna keep coming forward.
Yeah, I have seen and I don't have a statistic for this, but I would have to imagine that play in the middle third is less than 20%.
Yeah. Again, they'd fit in well in the. They'd fit in well in the Premier League at times with the way they're playing, but Canada with another chance, tacking again down the right-hand side. Got to see who that Canadian player is who keeps getting the ball out there. But Croatia now can come forward as well. It is Kramaric. How can I say that name? Kramaric. There we go. I don't know, but they can get the ball into the box, but a good tackle.
I'm now seeing the offside from that play, and it was clear offside. It was on the original pass.
It's it was on the first pass. Yeah.
So
close.
Yeah.
I think the right decision. And
yeah. Can you hear my wife yelling in the background? So for those of you out there, my wife's Croatian.
1-0.
And okay.
Yeah. I might put mine back on a half-time. I might put mine back on the regular BBC channel because it might be better if I go ahead again and
I'll shut up. I want to sync it, but the only and I had it synced. The only thing was my TV froze. But
okay. Well, we can get it back to being synced then.
What minute are you on?
I am. It will be 29 minutes for me, and that will be now.
Okay. Tell me when you're at 29:40.
Okay. Got a bit of
and if you guys are just coming in, hey, thanks for joining us. Croatia, Canada. In the chat, put your score prediction. Is Croatia going to come back in this one? It's 1-0 here in the 30th minute.
Early goal, very early goal scored by Alphonso Davies, Canada's star man, coming up with the goods. And that has the way it's been since. We would love to see another goal before half-time to get our over bet in. But, Matt, that is 29-40 now.
All right. They're fouled.
Croatia come forward down the left-hand side with Luka Modric. He thought he was fouled. He was not fouled, and Canada can clear the ball towards the halfway line with the willing runners of David and Davis trying to get Canada on the front foot. And they will with David, who plays it in to Davis. And that is giving us a free kick to the Canadians, about 30 yards out. Decent opportunity to either have a speculative long shot or get the ball in the box.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how they are on set pieces here. We haven't seen much from any set pieces. That's a little. Was that an elbow to the face?
It looked a bit soft, didn't it? It looked a bit like I don't think it was quite an elbow to the face, but I don't know. Sometimes it's it didn't look like there was much in it, but
well, half the time soccer players look like they absolutely get murdered on the pitch.
Don't they? Don't they just? So here he is then. Star quarterback and star everything for Canada. Davis with the free kick. It's a good ball in. It's a little under hit, but Canada can still recycle this and get it back into the penalty area. They go back to their goal.
He's got nobody, and they're going to kick it all the way back. I can't stand that.
Sometimes you need to do it.
Well, the guy's standing around, and he's like, where is everybody? I mean, there was nobody on either wing that he could pass to.
I'll tell you what, Canada, this is like some really refreshing football to what you see normally in international football. This is almost like a little bit of what we see, what I see, like as Canada try to get forward and nearly do get Perisic in on the left-hand side. But number 11 for Canada, that is Buchanan. He's supposed to be playing up front, but he's doing a good job there defensively, helping out his team when it is out for a throw into Canada. But yeah, you see a lot of this in like League One football, and I'm not saying it is bad, but it's like you'll see a goalkeeper play a long ball out to the wings where a guy tries to flick it on, and then they'll try and make a play through the middle. And it's exactly what Canada have just done. And it was like very so nice to see, as opposed to like 20 passes to try and get it up front. Let's just get it up there in 2.
Yeah, I think at this moment I would put money on Canada getting a second before Croatia gets a first.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard, but I would give a slight edge only because Canada seems to have had, I think, better opportunities coming in from the wings. It seems like they're going outside in, whereas Croatia's going inside out a little bit.
Yeah, we haven't seen, like, the good thing for Canada is and maybe the early goal kind of helps them with this, is they haven't overcommitted through midfield. They've kind of been a bit more cautious in that regard, which meant Croatia haven't been able to like have too many searing counterattacks on them. They did obviously have that one where they nearly scored from with a disallowed goal, but generally they've been a bit more disciplined with Estaqueo and Hutchinson in that midfield.
Good position here with a throw in into the box. We can see something.
That is the Celtic man, number 22. I'll probably butcher his name, but long throwing in. Are we going to see a shot from the edge of the box from Perisic? Can he get out of his feet? Plays it out wide to Modric. It's a good ball in. Can someone attack it? It's attacked by the Canadians. Pinball in there. And Canada are going to get this one clear.
So two things on that. Number one, I thought I was going to see a half volley kind of off that bounce on the throw in. I don't know why he tried to play that down to his feet, maybe take a shot at it. And then second, that dropped right to the foot of a Croatian inside the box and just couldn't do anything with it.
Yeah, but it caused more trouble than I thought. And it's a tactic Croatia are obviously going to go back to with another long throw-in opportunity. This one, they do mix it up and they go short to Modric, back to Juranovic. Modric, good ball in. That's a good ball. He'd be annoyed that someone's not attacking that behind that first guy that did. But Croatia's still working this ball around the Canadian penalty area. They get it out wide to Perisic, who plays it back out to Sosa. And they're coming inside, but it's a bit going backwards now, trying to recycle the play. Lost a bit of momentum, but Modric's a beautiful ball inside. That's a fine ball. Chance for Croatia. Great save by Borjan in goal. That is, I think that was Number 3, who was that?
Hey, I'd stay tuned here. I would stay tuned because they look like they're in position to maybe level this here. I mean, they've just had constant pressure for the last couple minutes.
Yeah, and that was what we that was a very Croatian style attack there from what we saw, where it's slow, and all of a sudden it's 2 or 3 quick passes and they're in behind you. And that was Livaja with his first shot of the game, which was actually a very good save.
Here comes the corner.
Canadian goalkeeper. Corner comes in. Up in the air, Canada should get this away, but only to the edge of the box where Croatia will keep this alive again. And chance to cross it from deep. They don't. They go down the line. They come inside. Trying to work a crossing or a shooting angle here for Croatia. They're very patient on the ball. Lovely ball inside. This is a chance. That's a goal. And that is 1-1. That's a fine finish by Kramovic.
It was. And,
in and around
it's well deserved. I mean, just constant pressure for the last 3-4 minutes inside that third.
Yeah. And again, that is where Croatia are at their absolute best. It's that patience on the ball, but that incisive passing that just cuts you open with 1 or 2 very intricate passing, but has to be absolutely bang on, and it absolutely is. It's a lovely ball in from Perisic into Kramovic, who's it's still got a lot to do from where he is. It's not an easy finish, but he's put it beautifully into the other corner. It's actually a lovely little nutmeg in the through the guy's legs in the build-up from Perisic. And Croatia didn't panic at 1-0 down and have got back in it now at 1-1.
Yeah, and as the goalie, could you have done better there? Maybe, but I mean, he's been in some compromising positions and kept them in the game here in the last 5 minutes. So,
off the field scoop from Grandstand Bettors.
I will tell you though, that's impressive. Now, if you're Canada, do you start thinking, okay, a draw's good? I mean, it's pretty early.
Again, at this point, a normal side, which is not Canada, because they've been anything but normal in this World Cup.
Yeah.
A normal side might just try and slow the game down, take the sting out of it, get to halftime at 1-1, make sure you don't go in losing, and then try and reassess after that. Knowing Canada, they'll probably go balls to the wall to try and get a second goal in the next 5 minutes.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see a penalty in this one with as much play in the 18-yard box there.
Yeah, there haven't been as many penalties as there opening few games of the World Cup. It was like a penalty a game.
That's an awful clear, by the way, from Croatia there off that free kick. They should have cleared that immediately.
Yeah, and Canada can still get this ball into the box if they can move it. Trying to do a bit too much, and Croatia can clear this ball. And here can be a lovely little counter-attacking move. This is where Canada are overcommitted. But has he got the pace to get away? He hasn't. Cuts inside. This will be... Perisic just doesn't have the pace to go past people anymore, but they've kept the ball alive. But it is going to go through to Canada's keeper, and they survive. But
surprised he didn't fall on the ground there.
Yeah. Andrej Kramovic. Yeah, kind of an under-the-radar striker for Croatia, really. Plays in the Bundesliga for Hoffenheim. Certainly not one of their star names, but that is his 21st goal for Croatia. So that's he's certainly been very, very consistent goal scorer for them. There's not many players that get that many goals in international football. So he's doing all right.
During that little 5-minute time, though, I mean, 8-9 guys all had different opportunities to be that guy. So, that's what happens. That pressure on.
Yeah. They're very, very good at doing that. You do see a lot of European sides doing that style where they will be patient. They'll pass the ball around, and then all of a sudden, a couple of quick passes, and they're in behind you. I did see England do that against Iran. I didn't see them do it too much against the United States, unfortunately.
Yeah,
we've got a bit of an injury stoppage here, I think. Might be a good time to do some promotional work.
Oh, yeah. Let's do some promotional work. First off, Ian Allen, go over to him. It's Ian OUFC on YouTube. Make sure you check him out. Big win for your Oxford United in the FA Cup. They'll now be hosting a big squad, right?
I mean, potentially the draws tomorrow. We'll see who we get. You could get. There's a lot of teams in the third round, but all the big Premier League sides come into it. So you're always hopeful you can get a big draw against one of the Premier League sides.
So yeah,
hopefully.
make sure you go check out Ian. He does everything soccer. And go to grandstandbettors.com, become part of our family over there. Make sure you're subscribed. And hey, listen, it's quiet in the chat. I want to know who's winning this. We're back to even Steven here. Let's tell us in the chat who's winning this one. Does it stay 1-1? Is Croatia take a big step forward and get to 4 points? Does Canada get knocked out with a loss today? Or do they keep their round of 16 hopes alive? Yeah, make sure you put in your chat your predictions. And yeah, love to have you a part of our family. But we are back on the pitch as Croatia does have it near midfield here.
Yeah, 5 or so minutes before halftime. You don't even know how much stoppage time is going to be added on. But Croatia continue to try and probe their way forward, but Luka Modric backheels that one out of play, and it is going to be a throw into the Canadians. Yeah, Canada's manager's doing the bus driver. Can you see him there?
I do. It's the gangster one.
Ah,
yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he didn't quite pull that off then, but
I don't know if you know this, but there's some pretty dangerous parts of Canada.
Yeah.
Actually, Vancouver's not great, but
I've been up to like kind of my time on ships took me up like Newfoundland, and there were some it looked pretty dangerous up there.
Yeah, I remember doing like the Quebec City run and all that.
You went to some I'm doing what are we talking about here? But anyway, we went to some of those places up on the kind of the north. When you get more north, it gets a little bit more interesting in Canada.
I think if Croatia can get this, there's a chance for a counter and to just nick our over here in the next couple minutes. I've liked the way they played. They're going strong forward. I know there's been a little possession here for Canada, but they've looked the last couple times to take that pass or the steal and go forward with it. So if they can get this get this ball back, I expect them to go quick here, and it looks like they are.
Yeah, again, just you can't underestimate the intelligence of the Croatia side as well. I mean, Canada come out they're a very all guns blazing kind of side. They try and hit you with a lot of pace and a lot of power. And Croatia were a little bit kind of overawed about it at the start, but they're not a side as they come forward now. Croatia marching toward that Canadian back line. Chance to get on the edge of the box, and it is great goal. That is like
wow. Oh my God! That is a huge goal.
Absolutely put the Canadians back on their heels. Go back on your horses, you mounted policemen, and go back to Canada. It is only joking, by the way. Again, a great move forward. A little bit kind of stole the ball in midfield, ran forward to the edge of the box. That is Livaggia. Got a bit of space. Great finish into the bottom corner. Don't think there's anything the keeper can do with that. That is just a great strike into the bottom corner. And Croatia were stunned early doors in this game, but they've roared back and looked like they're going to be leading 2-1 at halftime. But more importantly, Matt, what has happened?
We just hit our over in the first half. I love it. An easy winner. And also, hey, remember right at the beginning, Kirk Gray said Croatia money line, and they came out in 2 minutes and they were down 1-0. Well, Kirk, that's looking good. Sports betting chick said I like 3-1 Croatia for this game. Well, you're one away from having that exactly correct here. So now the question is, Ian, I know this Canada team's been aggressive already. How much more so do they have to be to tie this up?
Yeah, they need to really batten down the hatches here and make sure they don't go in 3-1 down. Croatia have got a real head of steam up here. They sense blood in the water, and their passing is just really on point. They're cutting Canada open time and time again. Canada really can't get out. They are desperate for this halftime whistle, but they're going to have to wait 5 more minutes for it because that's how much added time we've got.
Yeah, that's a lot of time. We've seen 2 goals during this World Cup in 5 minutes of stoppage time.
Yeah, it's a bit of a it can be a bit of a death by 1,000 cuts when you play the Croatians at times. You just feel like you can never get the ball off them, and they will try to get out now, Canada, through David, but we've seen very little of him in the last sort of 20-25 minutes of this game. But yeah, well, I talked about that, just the kind of the way Croatia just work a side out really, and just kind of weather the storm, and then get their passing game going, and look extremely threatening. Weirdly, they didn't manage to do that against Morocco. You didn't really see that, but in this game, you've certainly seen a bit more of what Croatia are all about, as they are storming forward down the left-hand side now. This could kill the game off right here. Chance on the edge of the box, shooting effort. I think that's by Kramovic as well, but that's gone miles over the bar. They should have done better with that one, really. I don't know why everyone was so far outside the box and why they didn't have more players trying to get in the penalty area as that guy galloped down the left-hand side unopposed. But Canada are on reeling here.
Hands down, this has got to be one of the most exciting first half of the entire World Cup so far.
I think so. Very end-to-end game. Both sides have gone for it, and hopefully more of the same in the second half. But as from a contest point of view, I really just want this to be 2-1 at halftime. Because I think if it's 3-1, I don't see any way back for Canada.
You know what? At this point, listen, my wife's Croatian. Got to root for the Croatian team, but I am kind of in my heart rooting for a draw at full time here, only because I don't want this Canada team to go out just quite yet.
Yeah. They've been good, haven't they? I mean, if they lose these 2 games, you'd have to say they've been very unlucky to lose these 2 games the way they've played. But I don't know. They're all right. I like
the style they play. I mean, I rather watch
the style they play.
Team,
but they might be 3-1 down here. Croatia coming forward again. What we feared is that Canada might start getting picked off by this Croatia side on the counter-attack. It's starting to happen. Great ball in behind, but just a little bit overhit. And Borjan can come out and claim. Very Canadian name, that, isn't it? Borjan?
Yeah, it's from the Northwest Territories.
Okay, I see. Up there in Labrador.
You gotta take a moose to get there.
Oh, here we go. Can Canada fashion a shooting chance now? They've come inside to Larea, but once again, Croatia picked them off, and they're charging in here. Oh, he's picked the wrong ball, surely, but he's gone out wide. He picked the wrong pass in the shot there.
If he goes right-hand side there, you got a shot on goal.
Yeah, it looked like the counter-attack was on to the right, but he's chosen to go to the left, and Canada were able to get that away. But once again, we are seeing Croatia looking all the more dangerous the more and more this half goes on. And my worry is that this could be a bit of a blowout in the second half.
It could, or maybe the Saudi Arabia coach comes in, gives a speech to the Canadian team, and they come out, they put up 2, and all of a sudden now they're in position to win the group.
Yeah. Yeah. Why not?
Why not? What else has happened in this World Cup, Ian, that you can predict well?
I have predicted virtually everything badly, so don't come to me for a prediction. I will. That is half time on my
That is.
end. I will be no doubt doing some absolutely calamitous predictions for the group stages in the coming week. Not for the group stages, for the knockout stages in the coming week. But my group stage predictions have been way off the mark.
All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break here at halftime. We'll be back right before the start of the second half. Croatia 2-1 after they were down 1-0 after the first couple minutes. So I'm going to go fill up my Yahtzee shaker. Ian's going to get his cup of tea, and we will be back shortly.
So, big question is, what bets are you going to put on for the second half of this game?
I was just looking at that, at 14-1, I can get Davies to score the next goal. Ugh. I'm not going to take it, but I mean it's intriguing.
I wouldn't take it.
It's intriguing.
I don't think Canada will score again.
You don't think so?
No.
Well, it was a pretty easy over/under there at 2.5 in the first half.
I know. This World Cup's been like pulling teeth trying to get like goals scored. This one's been nice and refreshing.
Maybe I want to look at the corners real quick, to be honest with you. Canada.
Did you see that goal?
Try it. Canada.
Did you see that goal that Costa Rica scored today?
I did. That was what was the goalie doing there?
How has he let that one in? I mean, Courtois didn't do very well for Belgium either, but how's that goalie? He's literally got his hands on it and just pushed it into the net.
Oh yeah, it was stupid. That's why people say things are fixed because of like plays like that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, honestly, that was a little ridiculous. I think I'm going to take a bet here. I'm going to go over 8.5 corners total in the game.
There you go.
We're sitting at 4, which means we would need 5 corners in the second half. I think Croatia will keep up some pressure. They'll get 2 or 3, and I do think Canada's going to nick out a corner or 2. I mean, 5 corners in the second half, I think that's very doable.
I think we'll see even more. Canada will just continue to attack. We haven't seen them do any. They won't know any other way of playing, really, and they have to come out and get back into this game. So Croatia, again, I think will just do what they started to do at the end of the half there and pick them off, play on the counter-attack, try and get in behind them. So I would think there'll be plenty more goal-scoring chances in this game. Corners might not be a bad shout.
Yeah, chances for sure. Whether that comes to fruition or not, who knows? Yeah. If you guys are coming in the chat, hey, thanks for joining us. Put your final score prediction in. Jadris 2-1. That's what it is now. We'll see if that's what it ends up as. I thought it was a very exciting first half before we get into the second half, and make sure when you kick off you tell me because I'm going to pause it for sure. But I think it was an exciting first half. At the moment, it now puts Croatia at 4 points with Morocco, which means that Belgian-Croatia match is going to be pretty special in the next round.
Yep, very much so. Means that if Croatia hang on to this win here, it means they can just draw that game against Belgium and get through themselves and put Belgium out, which may, on what we've seen so far, you wouldn't say Belgium have got much chance of winning this World Cup, but they certainly were one of the big names coming into the tournament.
Yeah, I also wouldn't be surprised if Canada draws against Morocco and all of a sudden Croatia or Belgium, the winner of that actual match, becomes the overall winner of the group.
Because Belgium have to. Yeah, Belgium have got an inferior goal difference as well now, haven't they? Because Morocco got that 2-goal win.
If Canada draws with Morocco and Belgium wins, it doesn't matter because they'd have 6 points. Morocco would have 5.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah.
So, but we'll see. There's a lot of great action. In fact, reminder, guys, on Tuesday, USA and Iran and England and Wales, all in that 2 p.m. Eastern time here in the States. We're going to be live streaming. I know I'll have both. Are you able to have both games going? Or
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So we'll keep eyes on that. And real quick to touch base, if England does not come out of this group, I mean, there's a chance that they would. I mean, there's still a chance that they wouldn't come out of this group.
They'll be basically the plane won't be allowed to land back at London.
That's what I was going to ask. That's what I was going to ask.
Say, keep on going, lads. Keep on going.
I saw something on social media yesterday where it said they were interviewing England supporters, and they said, how many U.S. starters would play on England? And they're like, none. I think Pulisic would, right?
He'd be in the. I reckon he'd get in the squad. Would he start? I don't know. These things are always like kind of English side. We're always going to be arrogant towards our own team as well. I mean, it's not necessarily.
We do have a sub coming on. I think it was Cone. Am I getting that right?
Who for?
He came on for Osario. No, I'm sorry. Osario is on for Lauren, and I think there was a second one. But tell me when you kick off.
Yep, will do. What number is Osario?
I don't know.
21.
Cone came on for Estaquio. It was Estaquio.
Hang on. Let's have a look.
You still waiting to kick off?
Yeah, sorry. It's me the delays this time. So we have got just kicked off now.
All right. So second half underway, 2-1 Croatia. We'll see if Canada can make anything of this game.
We certainly will. If it's anything, even if there's no more goals in the second half, if the game's played in the same tempo as what we saw in the first half, it should be at the very least enjoyable to watch.
Oh, I'd be very pleased with it for sure. 100% pleased if that can happen. I think we've seen. Actually, I think the second half of World Cup matches have been more exciting for sure than the first half. So wouldn't it be our luck for the first half to be good and this to be a snooze fest here in the second? But we'll see.
Well, Croatia will be in no hurry to kind of make this a fast-paced game now.
Yeah,
they can take their foot off the gas and be pragmatic in their approach, and as I said, they can sit deep and just try and hit on the counter-attack. So they'll put the emphasis on Canada to force the pace, and Croatia will go into their tried and tested method of possession-based football.
I don't see Croatia taking too many chances up one here, though. I mean, I'm not saying they're not going to be aggressive at all, and especially if they put one more in, I think it'll get a little more methodical as the time goes on.
Absolutely, yeah. They will try and well, that's the thing. If they get that third goal, which they're trying to do here, they've got a chance to get. Is it going to go out for a corner? Is that one of the corners you need? No, it's a goal kick. Yeah, if they can get an early goal in this second half to make it 3-1, then yeah, they will just close this game up, make it
actually
very hard for Canada. Pardon?
They called a foul on that.
Did they? Yeah, well, it could have been a bit of a push in the back, but there's also a factor of the fitness of the Canadian players, which is like they've put so much effort into these three halves of football they've played, 2 against Belgium, 1 here, that you do wonder how much, whether there will be any fatigue later on in this game. The style they play is, you've got to have so much energy to keep that up for 90 minutes. So we will see if their level drops off.
Well, I mean, I wonder if that comes into why they've already changed out 2 substitutes. Maybe that's already.
Well, I mean, the one up top. I mean, I didn't really think I saw Larin touch the ball once. Really, you saw Buchanan come back and David come back and help out. I don't think I remember saying Larin's name once in the first half, so he didn't really do much. So they changed him round for another forward player, and the one in midfield may well have been a fatigue thing.
Yeah. Wow. Looking at the table, I failed to realize Morocco's got 2. They try to play it into the box there, Canada. They got a 2+ goal differential, which is just...
Canada with that was a Good ball in by Buchanan. I think it might have even been David round the back post who kept the ball alive. They got the ball, shooting opportunity on the edge of the box, and that has whistled just wide, just come onto the pitch. Osorio. What a start! What an introduction that would have been if he'd scored that one, but it isn't far.
Just wide on that left post.
Yeah, you can always tell by a goalkeeper reaction of how nervous and how worried he was, and he was full stretch dive there. He was worried that was going into the corner for sure, and just gone wide. And Croatia breathe a bit of a sigh of relief. That would have been two early goals they'd have conceded at the start of both halves. That would have gone in, but they've.
I mean, luckily they have a 1-goal cushion this time around, but yeah, that could have been devastating. And it looks like they've come out with, some urgency here.
Yeah, it does. It looks like game sort of picked up where it left off, really, hasn't it? Both sides kind of looking in pretty good touch, trying to go forward, get that what would be the fourth goal of the game. Modric with a very optimistic ball down the line. That will go back to the Canadian keeper, and Canada can start and see if they can build something up right from the back here. Just what was your point you were saying about Morocco? They beat.
They have a +2 goal differential, and you have to think it's going to be hard for them not to come out of the group.
Yeah, especially they will fancy their chances of playing Canada in the final game. Actually, that should be I'm really looking forward to seeing that one. The way Morocco played, they played again a side with like a little bit like Canada, a little bit like very much kind of pressing, win the ball back, play it forward quickly with a lot of like pace up front. That could be a very entertaining game, that one.
Chance here for Canada down the right side.
Yep, been smuggled away though. Good defending by Croatia and get the ball forward, trying to get the ball to stick, and they can break forward in the lines now through Kovacic, who comes forward and can play it out wide in acres of space to Kramaric out wide there. Can he get a cross in? Or can he get a corner? It's a good ball in, but it's just over the head of everybody. But Croatia will keep this alive on the left-hand side. That's another good ball in. Oh, almost taken out of the keeper's hands by the Croatian striker.
I actually thought he towed the keeper's hands with that kick.
Yeah. It looked like it was Perisic. It looked like he just kind of kicked the ball out of the goalie's hands. No, actually, no.
Oh, that's bad. That's bad goaltending.
Yeah, not great. Not great. Wow, that's a great foul. That's one of the fouls of the tournament. That is Canadian Football League. That's horrible. That's really nasty tackle.
That's pretty bad. Yeah. Going back to that goal opportunity by Osorio there, leading up to that play, I feel like maybe there was a little bit of one too many touches. The good cross came in and they headed it back. I felt maybe a chest down to the foot and a quick shot might have been, or at least a cross across the middle there instead of. I don't know. It kind of just reminded me of a little overplaying that we saw the last couple of days.
Yeah, you do see it. You do see that a lot. People almost being a bit too scared to take that quick shot on at times. But Croatia with a chance to get the ball into the box, it's headed away. But Croatia can keep this ball with Modric on the halfway line and just maybe play a bit of possession based. They do what you hate. They go back to their goalkeeper who goes, and they're just trying to play through that Canadian press there, which they do quite nicely. They might have a bit of a overload here in midfield. No, they just go back again, back to the goalie. That's not the best ball back though, and he's forced to kick it long. And Canada will be hoping they can win the ball back now, which they do. And hopefully maybe Canada can start something going now.
Yeah, we've seen some slip-ups in the defensive third by some of these teams in this cup. There's one earlier today, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, if Canada do come forward, nice little move actually. They beat the Croatian press this time. Chance for get the ball inside to Davis, who is going to look inside, but he's dispossessed, and we might see a Croatian counterattack here. They've got 3, 4, 5 bodies getting forward, but they've slowed it right down again. And it's going to go probably a little bit of a... No, I thought they were going to go for possession, but they've beaten this Canadian press and got a bit of space inside, and they press forward now on the right-hand side. Will they get that ball in? Nope. They do a bit of the overplaying here, but they do move it nicely. Again, it's in behind again. This could be 3-1. That is a great save by the Canadian goalkeeper.
That was a great save, and it does go out for a corner.
I was literally just about to say that's the game. That was what we thought was overplaying at times for Croatia, but they recycle it. Then all of a sudden they're in behind with another great pass. Cut Canada open.
It's almost as if they lull the defense to sleep with that possession playing, and then strike when they got them down.
They do, don't they? 2 or 3 times we've seen that. Where they don't take the easy pass and then they go back, and then all of a sudden another guy runs from deep and they play him in. But it's you did get a corner out of that though, Matt, which is good.
I did. Yeah, we're 4 corners away.
The Croatia might get another corner here. No,
go out.
But Croatia do win it back, but that is going to be a free kick. Maybe a slightly generous one. With Modric, the fouler there, and Canada do get awarded that free kick and can clear their lines. But great save. Actually, that's 2 saves now he's made. Borjan in goal. Kept Canada in it a little bit in this one. Might be needed to make 2 or 3 more saves before this one's over. But we haven't seen a let-up in the attacking play in this game so far, which is good to see as Canada themselves come forward. Suspicion of offside, but Buchanan's got it to Davis on the edge of the box. And I think we've seen a great save from the Croatian keeper this time. Livakovic in goal.
Livakovic, he says, whatever you can do over there, I can do it better over here.
Yeah, referees pulled that back for a yellow card somewhere. Not sure who that's on, but I think that one was actually Jonathan David on the edge of the box. It was his first real shot on goal, but that's a save you would expect the goalie to make, but he needed to make it.
And you know what that creates there for us?
It does create a corner ball.
It does. Two early corner kicks like that. We're at 6. Need 3 more.
Yeah, and we've got a Canadian player with a tampon up his nose, raking his way forward. But he's it is.
Jackie's laughing hysterically in the other
room. But here he is again.
Jackie's like, she's like, I know it works, but that's great. That's great.
And I always wondered what they were for, but now I know. It's right. Back to the serious business of a throw in to Croatia.
So okay, we're 10 minutes into this second half. I don't see anything that doesn't tell me that Canada can't score next. Now with that said, I don't see anything that tells me that Croatia then won't score 3 more goals.
It's very much up in the air, isn't it? But the great thing is you've got both sides are going for it. No one's letting up. No one's kind of like sitting back. No one's being cautious. But that is a terrible ball out from the Canadian keeper.
What is that?
He
just wanted to get another save.
Yeah, he's just unfortunate. Well, fortunately for him, the Croatian player just put it straight back into his hands, and they can get Davis running down the right-hand side, cut back, shooting opportunity for Buchanan, but his shot is blocked. Rather optimistic to take that shot on there, and Croatia, with Kramovic, the goal scorer of their first goal, can clear it forward. But Canada will win this ball back very well, and they'll try and bomb forward now on their left-hand side. Croatia again sitting deep. You can see how Croatia are sitting deep here. Yeah. Just letting Canada have the ball in this area, not really too bothered about going out to press them, waiting for Canada to get right, almost quite close to the penalty area before they go out to shut them down. Clearly trying to pick them off on a counter-attack, and a bit more kind of like are Canada a side that's going to be able to pass through this Croatian backline like we've seen Croatia can do to Canada? I have my doubts of how successful they'll be if they're not playing on the break. Yeah, not a good ball though. Canada might have a chance to get a quick attack here if they move it quickly. It's played over the top to Buchanan, who takes it down really nicely, actually, but he's crowded out of it, and Croatia can bring the ball forward, and it goes out for a throw-in.
I don't know if you've noticed this, but it seems like the wingers, Buchanan kind of right there, it seems like they're over dribbling in areas where maybe just a quick flick to themselves and a cross into the middle might do them a world of good instead of trying to, go through the defenders.
You do see that. Unfortunately, you probably do see that quite a bit, though, don't you? You do see kind of the wide players. You got two types of wide players, I guess. You got the ones that like to get the ball down and dribble at the defenders, or the ones who were like what Beckham was, who didn't have any pace, but he'd just get the ball out of his feet and try and cross the ball in. I guess Buchanan fancies himself as the kind of player that can run and dribble and take people on. But Croatia got the ball on the edge of the box, cleared for a throw-in. I thought that was going to be a corner then for a second. And we know Davis, whenever he picks the ball up, is going to just try and run straight at the defender and put them under pressure. Change for Croatia.
Yeah, change coming in. I believe that's Lavaya coming on for Pekovic.
Yeah, that is.
And by the way, for those of you watching, these pronunciations are spot on.
Yeah, well, Petkovic, very experienced player coming on for Croatia. Lavaja's done a good job, though. Scorer of the second goal, wonderful goal it was too, and so he'll be pleased with his evening's work, and he can sit down and have a well-earned. What do they drink in Croatia? A well-earned.
What's the drink? What's the Croatian gasoline shit that I can't?
Rakia.
Rakia, yeah.
Yeah, they drink it in Macedonia too.
All I had to say was gasoline, and you know what I was talking about?
Yeah, I sure did.
My father-in-law from Croatia thinks that stuff is a good idea to bring out once you're already drunk.
Yeah, my good lady's brother, we went to their wedding. They started like drinking at like 9 a.m.
Jesus.
But the funny thing is, and then the next day you see like people. You see like my mother-in-law. You see her like kind of cleaning the bloody windows with it. It's a good disinfectant. Yeah.
Well, yeah. It's multi-use.
There we go.
All right, we got another change here. Are they taking? Oh, that's Larea coming off.
Yeah, Larea coming on for Julia Hoylett.
Hoylett, yeah.
Look, I was a bit down on Julia Hoylett earlier on. I mean, he's kind of a bit of a coming to the end of his career. He's been an okay player, bouncing between like lower end of the Premier League, top of the Championship, currently playing with Reading in the Championship.
Free kick here in a promising position.
Definitely. Not necessarily the sort of player you would think is going to come on and really worry this Croatian defence, but we will see. We will see.
Let's see if they can.
What's he going to do? I think I wouldn't be shocked if Davis goes for goal here.
Oh, I assume he is going to go for a goal, 100%. I don't like if is he going to kick that? He's left-footed.
Yeah.
See, I don't like that position for left footers here. I think we'll see what he does. Yeah, I think it's too much of an angle there to try to go inside. If you're going to go, you got to go out. But
it's got to be good, isn't it? It's got to be right in the top corner. It's got to be almost inch perfect to go in from there. It's got like the natural curl for a left footer to bend it away from the keeper.
I think a right-footed cross, like an in-swinger, would have been better there. But
yeah. Well, I think that they kind of put the left footer and the right footer over it, so they create some doubt. But I think Davis was always going to take that shot on, but it wasn't very good. Hit low, hit into the wall, and cleared quite easily. Long ball forward, great hold-up play, then really terrible ball forward, and it's back with a Canadian goalkeeper. And this game is not stopping. It's very, very fast-paced.
End to end, yeah, and I'm enjoying this game.
Yeah.
I will say this: I'm glad we got the 3 goals in the first half, because if you told me that it was 1-1 or 2-0 to somebody, I'm not sure I would guarantee there'd be a third one here.
Yeah.
I know there's opportunities, and I know we've seen a ton of chances, but I just, it just has this feel like as we go into the 70th, 80th minute, I don't think we see the same aggression. And I mean, as you mentioned, Croatia is sitting a little far back, seeing if the Canadians can go through that defense.
Yeah, you see with Croatia, they're very controlled in the way they're playing, and they're not they're creating pressure, but not too bothered if they don't create too many goal scoring chances. Whereas what we saw with Canada in the game against Belgium, they might create chances, but their finishing is a little bit wayward. And they had a lot of shots against that Belgian side and missed the target with a lot of them. So I wouldn't be surprised if you saw that level of shooting from them, if you like, the kind of where they're a bit snatch at the chances and drag a lot of shots wide or over the bar.
Yeah.
That is Croatia. Croatia it's raced by. I mean, we're 20 minutes in and already, and you just get the feeling Croatia are just getting more and more in control, really.
I thought that last flick was going to set something up there, but just didn't get through there.
I still would. At some point, Canada are going to go very gung-ho, and even more gung-ho than they have. And I still wouldn't rule out
like a counter goal
line, which was predicted by Sports Betting Chick at the very start of the game. You've got that chance of a breakaway goal. But yeah, and
a bit of garbage play here from both sides, just some back and forth nonsense. But finally, it looks like they tried to break out, but it's going to be a Croatia throw in here.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Croatia can go into their classic kind of like just make the game a bit ugly and control the ball, and Canada will then, when they do get it back, are going to be a bit more panicked and a bit more desperate to get the ball forward and make more mistakes, which makes it even better for Croatia. Again, these players are so experienced. They've been in this position millions of times before. But Canada do try and play the ball out wide, but it is cut out and it's going to go out for a throw in to Canada in the midway in the Croatian half. But not moving the ball as quickly as they were, I would say, in the first half. They're struggling to kind of get beyond this kind of wall that Croatia have put up now, like all 11 players kind of back behind the ball defending, making it difficult for Canada.
Yeah, and Croatia's not trying to go up too much, although there's a good ball down the left side, but it's going to go for a throw in to Buchanan, and we'll see if anything comes from this. But yeah, there's just too many defenders back there. They're not essentially, when I use the term park the bus, that's not really what they're doing. Teams that park the bus, it's a clear like 10 people back there with a forward up.
Yeah.
But they have put up a stone wall, if you will.
Yeah, they have. I mean, they're but when they can break, they are breaking, and they're breaking right now. And 2 or 3 passes, and they're right the way up the pitch. But that's a poor ball.
That's an awful ball.
I think Petkovic out wide to Kovacic, and it was a terrible pass. Canada do get the ball in back quickly, trying to get a breakaway, but good defending. Very good reading of the play there from Croatia, and they snuffed that one out. That could have been dangerous if he got that ball through then.
Going back to that last break by Croatia, I'll tell you, I've always wondered, when there's open space in front of you, why do we not dribble into the open space and then wait to pass until you actually need to pass? I've just never understood that.
It's Croatia might come back for a foul. No, it's not going to do. I thought that was a foul on the Croatian guys, but they continually, whenever they do like pick the pocket of Canada in midfield, or that they are able to break forward with a lot of pace and quickly get at this Canadian backline. But you see that a lot. I find sometimes breakaway situations. There's a lot of times where really dangerous breakaways rarely result in goals, and it usually comes down to like players making the wrong decision where they don't know when to pass and when to dribble. So it's sometimes it's very frustrating to watch, because when you're watching the game where from the viewpoint we are, you can often see the right pass they should be making, but sometimes you get players that want to do it themselves.
I have a feeling Croatia is going to be on get a chance here coming up.
Yeah, it's looking a bit ragged, Canada now, aren't they?
Yeah, they sure are.
It's into the box, shooting chance. That is the third goal. Were you ahead of me?
3. No, my wife is, and I can hear the celebration.
Look, that's been coming, and that's been coming in the last 5 or 6 minutes. We saw 3 or 4 Canadian attacks that have been picked off by Croatia, and finally they make it pay. It's Kramovic again, and that is a great finish. Really, that's a really, really tidy finish.
Yeah, it's a great finish, bottom corner. Nothing really the goalkeeper could do there. I mean, I guess he was screened a little bit, but he wasn't stopping that.
Look, I mean, first things first is it's tired defending. The fullback, it lets the winger come right the way past him very easily to get the cross in. Kramovic is able to take a touchdown. The Canadian players stand off him, and he's able to guide it nicely into the corner through someone's legs. And keep. I don't think the keeper has any chance there.
That's got to be a foul. Sorry, now tell me when you're at 71 minutes and 13 seconds.
Okay, I will do. Okay, I'm not there yet.
For some reason, my TV froze. That's why.
Okay. I am there now.
All right, we're good. I mean, I know they did call that foul, but that was ridiculous.
Yeah, it was a clear push in the back, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But now the scoreline's more comfortable. For me, this has been a very impressive performance by Croatia. To go a goal down that early on in the game, they've come back and really, really looked a class above Canada the more this game's gone on. It's another sub, isn't it? It's a few subs. Canada definitely eliminated, Matt, if they lose this game.
Yes, they would be eliminated. That would because Croatia, Morocco, and Belgium would all have 3 plus points. Croatia and Morocco have both 4. So unless they can somehow get 4 points in the last match, that's not bad.
So. Kramaric coming off for Croatia has had a fantastic game. 2 goals for him. Looks like both sides are making a whole host of changes. And with 18 minutes to go in this one, I really can't see any way back for Canada in this.
Yeah, it's you have to be disappointed if you're a Canadian fan, because you started the game, I mean, as best as you could. But then, and to your point early when I asked, like, does that change anything? No, Croatia, they're the runner-ups from the last World Cup. They know what they're doing out there. They didn't panic. They scored a couple goals to take a 2-1 lead. And you're right. They've been clearly just waiting for that opportunity to get the 2-goal lead. In fact, in the second half, even though they don't have the possession, in fact, Canada 53% possession, they do have the goal attempts and the shots on goal. But
yeah, and for all the plaudits, and rightly so, Canada got for the performance against Belgium. I never thought that would automatically mean that they would play better and win points against Croatia or Morocco, because they're two completely different oppositions. And although chance for Canada, but I think that was offside.
It was, yeah. I saw the flag go up.
And I never as I think I said it on a previous stream, I saw the Canada game against Belgium might have been their best chance to win a game in this tournament, because Morocco and Croatia both have more energy in their team.
Yeah. And it's disappointing. I mean, for the Canadian squad to come out here after so long, and it looks like they're going to put up 2 losses. I mean, anything could happen. But I think what it does show you in this World Cup, and this is just from all the groups, all the teams, kind of like any given day, man, these teams can come out and play. I mean, we've seen Argentina look bad and then come out and win 2-0 against Mexico. But on the flip side, we saw the Saudis beat Argentina and then come out and lose their match. Costa Rica lost by 7 goals to Spain and then come out and beat Japan. So this is why they call it the World Cup. You don't know what's going to come on, and it's the best teams, in the world out here. So
yeah, and everybody's kind of put in it, with the exception of Qatar. Everybody's kind of put in a decent showing.
At least one, yeah, for sure. At least everybody's put in one decent showing.
And maybe you could add Belgium to that as well. But have you won your corners bet? I can see that was another corner there.
We are at, I think that's we're 2 away. I think. Let me see. 2 away. 7. No, yeah, we're 2 away. We need 9. Yeah, 2 more corners.
Still maybe 20 minutes to go with added on time. You still got.
I'm going to disagree with you a little about Qatar. I thought the second game they played in, they actually looked decent.
Okay. So yeah, okay. So everybody's kind of like had you feared that, like, from at the start of the World Cup, we saw some very one-sided games, but that those sides have then bounced back, like Iran and like Costa Rica. But Canada still probing, trying to get forward. They got a loose ball on the edge of the box. Can they get a shooting chance? It's
ambitious.
Optimistic. That's championship level soccer there from Julia
I can't
Hoyle.
stand those decisions, and that's the guy that you were actually on, right?
Yeah. Was he how good of a shot would that have had to have been to have gone in, where he's like 25 yards out, 2 players closing him down? That's got to be a 1 in 50, 1 in 100 type shot to go in from there.
Yeah, and I think that's why I have problems when people decide to do that from about 25 yards out. I mean, it's just play high percentage opportunities. So
depends on the player. Depends on the player. If I see if I see, like, for example, Luka Modric running onto a ball like that for Croatia, I am sort of expecting to see a much closer shot than what I saw from Julia Hoyle, where you'd I'm actually surprised it didn't go out for a throw-in.
Yeah.
It's Canada still trying to get back into this game, but Croatia pick them off again and can come forward with Kovacic galloping over midfield. Got an easy ball out wide where they've got acres of space on the left-hand side for Perisic. Can he get stepping over? Chance for 4-1. Should be 4-1. 2 great saves by the Canadian goalkeeper.
I don't know how that wasn't 4-1. That should have been 5-1 if you count both of them.
If you needed another goal in this one, you'd be pulling your hair out there, because that should have been an easy goal. But Canada come down the other end again. Davis in a bit of space, pulls it back to Hoylett. That is cleared. And are we going to see another break from Croatia? No, we're not. Canada have got the ball on the halfway line. But we'll see. We'll see where we'll see where Canada go from here after the World Cup, right? I mean, it's like, yeah, they've been good. Yeah, they've been impressive. But is this just going to be a one and done, or is this going to be something where they're going to be in the next World Cup regardless, aren't they? Because it's on home soil for them.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I'll tell you this though. They luck out by getting to play in CONCACAF. I mean, that's such a down qualifying stage. In fact, as much as I love the U.S. being in the World Cup, I think they should get rid of CONCACAF and have some sort of better qualifying for that area of the world, because it's not great. I mean, Nicaragua in there, El Salvador's in there, Jamaica's in there. I mean, there's just not powerhouses.
No, not at all. Absolutely. Like, there, if you take out Mexico and the US and Canada, until recently, have always been a little bit of a distant third. You've got the likes of like your Costa Ricas and your Hondurases who are.
I'd almost argue that Trinidad and Tobago is one of the better teams there too.
Sure. But on a world stage, they're not great sides. And you've seen, like, for example, Australia being from the oceanic territory, which was really hard to get into the World Cup from the quality of teams that you play. They actually moved to play in the Asia qualifying.
Okay.
Which gave them playing against gave them a more direct route into a World Cup, and it got them playing against better teams so they would actually be better equipped when they did get into major competitions or play against better teams. So it might be something that CONCACAF has to look at in terms of maybe doing a merger with South America. Would they be open to that? Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'd appreciate, as much as it might not mean that the U.S. isn't in the World Cup, I would appreciate qualifying stages against some better teams, because I think that actually just prepares you more, when you're playing, Curacao, that's not really giving you, I think it gives you false confidence too.
Do you know, that's actually, Nations League's been really criticized for coming in. But the one thing I liked about Nations League is it gave England an opportunity to play against the good sides on a regular basis, because European qualifying is a lot like that too, where England being a top seed all the time, you can quite often be in a group with one or two average sides and then three really poor sides. So you can go through a 2-year cycle with basically playing no competitive football against good sides, and then you rock up at a World Cup, and the first time you play a good side, you're completely outmatched.
Yeah, no, and I agree. I think false confidence isn't going to help you in the long run. So meanwhile, Croatia here, long throw in, and
chance on the edge. Is it going to be a shooting opportunity on the edge of the box? It looks like they're going to. Yeah, he's taken a pot shot, which is way wide.
I wish that would have got nicked by a defender. We could get one more corner out of that.
Yeah,
that's, from a betting standpoint, I don't mind if they do those long shots, because if it does get touched by a defender, there's a chance it goes out.
Do you know what's really frustrating is, like, I do corner bets sometimes, and sometimes when it's almost like they're deliberately trying to not let the ball go out for a corner. Sometimes it's so frustrating, and then you'll watch another game and it will be like 3 corners in a row where a ball just hits a defender from the corner and goes straight out, and you're like, why didn't that bloody happen in the last game? Yeah.
Well, there was earlier in this second, if we lose this bet by 1 corner, early in the second half, the ball went to the touchline there, and it was saved by the defender. Or I don't even know. It might have been the guy on the offense. I don't know. But, I mean, that's how I know. It's a frustrating bet sometimes. Sports Betting Chick in the chat said, there it is, referring to the 3-1 scoreline that they had predicted beforehand. That's looking pretty good here with about 7 minutes plus stoppage here.
Now the question is, did the sports betting chick actually put money on that, or was that just a wild prediction?
Probably it was just a wild guess.
Wow. Well.
That scoreline probably actually wouldn't have paid off as well as you would think with a correct score. I'm guessing it would have just been like 5-1.
I don't know about that. I
Oh,
reckon it would
come
have been
on.
all right.
You said it was going to be 4-1, right?
I can't remember what I said now. I'm pretty sure
You said it was. In fact, didn't you say it was going to be like 3-1 or 2-1?
I'm a little bit hazy, but I'm pretty sure I said Canada will score really early and then Croatia will come back with 3 goals.
I bet you. Yeah, that sounds exactly like what you said.
Yeah, this game's really meandering out now. A couple of yellow cards apiece, a bit of a tetchy play between Miller and Modric. Both of them.
Well, that third goal took the wind out of Canada,
Yeah, absolutely. And it's Modric getting booked for Croatia means he has to just be a little careful in the next game not to pick up another card, or he might be missing from a last 16 tie, which would be really, really poor, really bad from a Croatian point of view.
Now, remind me, after group stage, that resets though, right?
No, after once they get to the quarterfinals, it resets.
So he's got to be careful for 2.
Yeah. Yes, that's right. Yeah. So it's I'm pretty sure it's quarterfinals where I might be wrong.
Do you like that rule? Because I mean that could really play a role in like some of the quarterfinal matches.
Yeah, it has done in the past. You do see quality players missing in games, and it makes a difference. I don't mind it. I think it's I think it's an important part of the game that you can't just have players Players have got to be like careful about the number of yellow cards they receive. I think that should be an issue, that you can't just go around taking cheap yellow cards in every game. There should be.
Well, I get that, but I think some yellow cards aren't. I don't know. I think I would prefer it has to be a straight red, and then maybe you sit out 2 games or something. I don't like that you have to go 4 games essentially. I mean, you could get a yellow card every other game and then still have to sit out the quarters. I think that's a little too much.
Yeah, I may be wrong with it. It might be. I'm pretty sure it was quarterfinals, but yeah, maybe it is a little bit too strict. Maybe 3 yellow cards might have been a better.
Yeah, I don't mind going up to 3. I think that would be good. It just, I think it. I'll give you an example that you're not going to know, but like years ago, in the NBA Finals, Draymond Green got like his whatever technical foul in the NBA playoffs, and you had to sit a game, and it happened to be it cost him the championship. So
right.
I don't know. I think I as a sports fanatic, I think watching the best people out there and having truly the game not. I mean, I hate asterisks next to it, if you will.
Yeah.
I mean, what if Ronaldo was? What if it's not going to happen? As Canada tried to go up with some pressure. What if Ronaldo? It's not going to happen. But if Ronaldo played Messi in the final, and one of the 2 was out because of that, don't you think that would be ridiculous?
My opinion is yes and no, because it depends. Like that's like it wouldn't be. It's not ideal because you'd like to see them both playing in a final, but that's like if they pick up these yellow cards, and that's the risk they play. That's the rules of the game. That's the risk they got. That's the risk they run.
I know, but But I look at a yellow card in soccer as like a holding call in football. Like it's bad. It's penalized. But I just like in American sports, you really have to do something aggressive to get like kicked out of the next game.
Yeah. But a yellow card is a yellow card's not always given for like you run quite a tightrope, not tightrope, but you get a number of like fouls normally, little fouls you can make before you get a yellow card, and then you get that yellow card, and then it puts you.
But I've even seen yellow cards for time wasting.
Yeah, but we hate time wasting.
Well, I get it, but I mean, do you like you can get a yellow card from slide like we saw what I should have thought should have been a red card on that breakaway a couple of days ago. So you're telling me a yellow card for time wasting and that foul are equal? That because it's not, in my opinion.
Yeah, but usually the time wasting comes around, not like the referee will usually say to the players, like, you're wasting time. The next time you do it, I'm going to give you a yellow card. So that's then the player's fault for doing it. Like,
right.
Well, you can do a load of little petulant things. Like you can do a little like you can give away a free kick and then kick the ball away, so the opposition can't get it, and you get a yellow card for that. There's little petulant things that might not seem as bad as doing like a really bad tackle, but the players don't have to do it. We might see a fourth goal for Croatia here. Love a little beautiful counter-attacking move. Comes to the edge of the box, but that's a side-footed effort straight down the goalie's throat, and it's.
Well, I don't think we're going to hit our corner kicks. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it.
It looked like it had a good chance after some quick ones, and then all of a sudden, the attack has kind of stopped, and yeah.
It's been a fun game, but for me, the quality of the Croatian side has come through. And they've defended Canada a lot better than what we saw Belgium do. They've really restricted them to the efforts that they've had. As much as Canada looked dangerous when they come forward, they haven't had anything like the shooting opportunities that they had against Belgium. And Croatia have managed this game pretty well, I would say.
Yeah. And speaking of the rest of the day, in about 8 minutes time, we're going to go live here with our live stream for the Cleveland Browns. So we're looking forward to that. So if you're an American football fan, stay on our YouTube channel and make sure you subscribe to our channel. But also head on over to Ian's channel and subscribe to him for all things soccer. Final thoughts on this game as we have 6 minutes. Jesus, 6 minutes of extra time.
Yeah, 6 minutes kind of weird while you've got that much injury time, but kind of played out the way I expected it to. A very good effort, which sounds very patronizing, like I'm just kind of like ruffling the hair of a small child. Good effort by Canada, putting a good show in, but really the quality and the experience has shown out from Croatia, and they will fancy, go into the game against Belgium knowing that they can go through with a draw.
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed that Canada couldn't pick up a point because I just think, well, I don't know. Maybe they go out for pride and they beat Morocco. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, again, these are little things of like, that they don't come around very often. And I know you can, if you've got a side like Belgium, for example, or England, who are playing their third game with nothing to play for, then you could expect a very tepid and lackluster game from players who are thinking, oh, I can't wait for my Premier League or La Liga season to start again. But for Canada, they don't get to play in these competitions very often. And it is a chance for, a bit of pride. And I think they'll, as a shot whistles by from Julia Hoylett, that wonderful player that I've been talking up all game, flashes a volley just wide.
That could have made things a little interesting there.
It could have made it a nice little interesting finish, but I think Canada will come out and play with the same energy and the same intensity in that final game of what we've seen.
It doesn't matter, and I know you don't care, but I heard a little bit of screaming from the other room.
Oh, man. Is she alone in there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I am getting a goal kick right now, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Well, that's a long punt forward by Canada. It looks like handball, but it's not given. and Davis pulls it out wide to Canada, who can get a ball into the box here. It looks overhit, but they keep it alive. And are we going to see Croatia go up the other end and score? I think we might. Yeah.
Oh, that's a beautiful touch. Oh, misplayed. Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh, they are going to put it in, and it's 4-1. And if you ever needed an exclamation point on anything, that's one right there.
Yeah. Really unfortunate moment for the Canadian defender. That's a terrible bit of defending, but these things do happen. And Croatia have just ran in unopposed, really, 2-on-1, simple ball across, and not even sure who that is. One of the substitutes has put that in. But again, this is kind of what I felt the game might turn into with a Canada side who are going to keep pushing and give opportunities to Croatia on the counterattack.
Yeah, and we'll see what this Croatian team does against Belgium. I think that's going to be a great match. I am going to have to hop off here very quickly. So before we go to final whistle, I just wanted to thank you, Ian, again for coming on, for your great commentary. Appreciate it. We'll be right back here on Tuesday. Is that cross? That was almost something there.
I know.
We'll be right back here on Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern time. For those of you in the UK, that's 7 o'clock, I believe.
It is indeed a very
actually we'll be on at 1:45, but yeah. And it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. Definitely gonna pour myself a drink for that one in the mid-afternoon. These 10:45, it's a little early, although I am gonna go get a drink here for the Browns game.
I think for that one, Matt, it might be best if you well, I mean, we'll concentrate on. I think you've already said it. We'll concentrate on America versus Iran, and I'll kind of give you little updates from England, Wales as they come in.
I was thinking we could do that, or I could focus on US and you could focus on England. I mean, we could do it that way too. So we'll communicate here in the next little bit. I got the NFL Red Zone channel. It's 3 minutes to week 12 in the NFL, and there's only one other person watching, so. Hey, since there is really nobody watching, hey, this was actually a good stream. We got up to like 40 or so midway through the first, and nearly 2,000 views. So not bad.
Yeah, that's not bad. Croatia might make this 5-1 now. No. Oh, you did get a corner. Oh,
yeah, but it's not enough. No, it's still. They ended on 7.
Oh, I think that went out for a throw in anyway. But yeah, well, thanks again, Matt, having me on. I'll see you soon. Enjoy your evening of American frivolity.
Thanks. Final score: Croatia 4, Canada 1. Thank you guys for joining us. We will see you on Tuesday for US, Iran, England, and Wales.